it doesn't matter because all money is someone else's money.
It's nothing but a trade.
It's an IOU. We've talked about it before. I've talked about it on the show.
I trade you crops.
Right.
If you
it's an
hunt
IOU.
animals,
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Speaking of money, why these people ain't out here getting these jobs, man?
Man, bro.
Now we're going to agree on something.
Yes,
now that we disagreed for a while.
It's hectic. It's hectic.
If y'all don't want to watch the show, you go on somewhere then.
Next. Wait a minute.
Get on out from here.
So, no, it's hectic out here. Everywhere I go, help wanted.
Every single business in this area has a now hiring or help.
I wonder why that is, though. Now,
I have some theories.
I have a theory. You want to give yours first, or?
No, you go ahead.
So, this whole talk about the national minimum wage.
No one likes my theories.
Coming in to $15 an hour, right? So, I mean, and a lot of folks, I think there's a lot. Obviously, you got the stimulus checks out here. Unemployment got extended.
Yep.
So
and increase the amount that you get, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like if you don't have to work, most certainly people are not going to if they're used to surviving off what they're surviving off and have a side thing going on, whatever, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But also, I think about the talk of having a national minimum wage of $15 an hour. And at the same time, maybe some people get it in their mind where, damn, if the government's saying this is possible, then we should be getting this much money. And if no one's hiring at this much money right now, then maybe it's not worth my while. So a lot of companies that I'm associated with have raised their pay up.
Correct.
To a certain standard.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's not all at 15 an hour, but they've raised their pay.
They're not paying 11, they're paying 13 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
A couple bucks. But I think overall, when I think about the history of America too, like the culture of not working. And that's not to say people aren't working. There's a lot of home-based jobs. There's a lot of, so I should take that back. People aren't necessarily doing physical work out in the stores, in the retail convenience stores, which may be a shift that we're not thinking about as well in terms of more working from home customer service calls, placing orders online, working for Amazon. You know what I mean? Sure. Customer service reps being hired to fill all these calls from people just ordering online and stand in the house, which this pandemic, a big pharma will pay for a lot.
Yeah.
If, you know, anyway.
So I have a couple of things that I thought about. One of them is, have we opened too many businesses in the area because we have to facilitate the tourists?
There's a lot.
But we don't have enough people that live here locally to facilitate the jobs.
Yep.
That's a problem if that's the case.
Those type of jobs. Yeah.
Those types of jobs. Because here's the thing. When someone comes to an area like this to live, for the most part, they're entrepreneurial or because they've already been successful. Because that's how they can afford to live here. Because we live in a pretty
expensive.
We live in a pretty expensive area. So those people aren't going to come here and get a job. They're going to come here and start a business.
Right.
Now, if there's not enough people here to work for all those businesses, then all the businesses have to figure out what to do at that point. They can't hire people, then they can't hire people.
You can't work the employees you have to death.
Now, here's what's going to happen in the scenario that we're in right now. We either have a scenario where there's too many businesses and some of them are going to have to close.
Yeah.
And then the ones that were working there can go work at the other place that needs help, right? And then that will kind of even things out. Or
that's why so many people work at Walmart.
Or we have a scenario where there's too many people living off of government assistance right now and not wanting to get a job.
That's happening.
Or they're scared to go out and get a job because of COVID or whatever, right? There's reasons for people to not go out and get a job right now. A friend of ours brought up in a post the fact that there aren't as many foreigners in town working right now. Our area relies heavily on people that come in on work visas to work.
It does.
And he said there's not as many of those people in town right now. I don't know how true that is, but I could see that being the case.
Well, with the borders being closed.
Right.
For sure.
So, I mean, I could definitely see that being the case, but some people rebutted that with almost everybody at my job is on work visa. So, who knows? But this is what's going to happen. Either businesses are going to close, which eliminates jobs, or
Restaurants.
Businesses are going to adjust to and become more efficient so that they don't need as many employees.
Right, that's
which
what I'm
also
saying.
eliminates jobs.
Yeah.
So these people that are sitting at home going, I'm going to wait until this money runs out and then I'm going to go find a job. There's not going to be one when that time comes.
They'll have to adapt.
Because the business is going to either close or overcome. And if they close, those jobs are gone.
Look,
if they overcome, those jobs are also gone.
In this day, in this day and age,
you're really hurting yourself in the long run if you're not out there working right now.
Like, people complain about this robot era moving in, but in the long, at the look of things, like, you putting pressure on the business owner and the person willing to go out and do it. But then, people are not wanting to go work, and these companies are having to adapt during this pandemic time. You know what I'm saying? It's like, even like during war times, you had to adapt. When all the men went off to war, what happened? Women started going to work.
We talked about that
before. The world
before.
Changed. Natural adaptation.
Did it? That was the worst.
So he said that I did. So, you know what I mean? So now you have this plague, basically, as a pandemic. And, these companies are having to adapt. A lot of people working from home, not even going back to work. They're like, hell, we could save on building costs.
That's what I was about to say. Businesses are going to adjust that way. So what they're going to do is they're going to downsize the amount of space they need.
Yep.
They're going to be able to work
they're
going to be able to work from an office building as big as what I'm in instead of an office building as big as something down in
just
Destin
enough
or
to
whatever.
have a good Wi-Fi system.
Right, because 90% of their employees actually are working from their kitchen table.
Right.
And that's fine because, let's say you run a real estate agency that does rentals or whatever. Most of the things that happen in your agency aren't face-to-face with a customer.
Right.
They can happen over the computer. They can happen. I mean, Apple's been doing this for years. Apple has employees all over the country.
Right.
They don't have all those buildings.
And think about,
they just have people that work out of their houses and wear a headset all day and answer the phone.
Virtual tours, virtual walkthroughs.
They have a walkthrough, a script that they read, and it is what it is.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I've got friends that have worked for Apple, and they literally did it from Point Washington, Florida.
You need visual calling.
Like,
Please allow us to access your video camera.
Right.
Put you right on the video call.
So there's definitely going to be businesses adjusting to the fact that, maybe my business, not my business, but like maybe a business required 10 employees per shift pre-pandemic. And now that people aren't out there working, they figure out a way to make it only require 6 employees per shift. Those 4 jobs are gone. Those 4 jobs are gone forever.
Even think about restaurants, right? Where you had a waitress or a waiter and a busboy or a busgirl, whatever. Now
you don't need a busboy anymore.
You don't. Now you put the tablet at the table, let them order. No, you need a busboy.
You were already doing that.
You need a busboy. You don't need a waitress. You don't need a server anymore.
You need a food runner and a person to clean the table.
They cooking in the back in the food runner because now
you're right.
You see what I'm saying? Now you're sitting at the table making your order. Nobody's coming up asking you 5-6 times. Need any more water?
Right,
Are you good? How's the food?
Hit the button. Somebody brings
They're
you some water.
doing it because that's the service. You know what I'm saying? But the service is really, we came here to chill and be together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Be out as a family. Sometimes, you know how it be. Yeah. Sometimes you get that waiter or waitress that's like on your hip and you like, we good?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Like, see you when the check comes.
Why don't you come back when we leave?
But we understand that that's what you want to make sure people don't feel forgotten about. But sometimes people are just like,
but I think you're right.
I'll raise my hand if I need you.
I think for the most part, that type of eating out experience is gone.
Man,
I don't think people are going out for the experience of being waited on
because we didn't have the technology then.
We're going out to eat for the experience of, like you said, hanging out with our friends and chit-chatting and that kind of thing. It's not a going out to eat used to be something you did once or twice a month.
Right.
Now it's something people do 3 or 4 times a week.
And think about
it's
how
not
much,
the same thing. You've become numb to the fact that there's even a server there.
Right.
That you don't even notice it. So
and now people
you
paying.
You can do the little Z
that
pad
used to be
thing
paying, $75 a meal, $80 a meal, $100 a meal, whatever, for 2 dinners.
Yeah.
And some drinks. Instead of tipping the waitress 15-20%, you just leaving 10% for the busboy.
Right.
How many times he's serving them tables a night?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Share with the kitchen, and it's
everybody wins.
Night,
yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a huge shift in the
even
way
convenience stores are
Everybody.
Yeah, they're putting
Everybody's
self
adjusting.
checkouts.
Everybody, yeah, Dollar General has self-checkout
But-
now. Even the small boys are getting in. I mean, Dollar General's not a small company, but you know what I mean. Compared to Walmart, Target, like their store is smaller.
But
they're
the
even
fact
putting
that
in
people
self-checkout.
aren't going out to work these jobs now, I want to, do these companies need to pay them more? Sometimes, it's a lot that especially working in a convenience store, retail. I worked retail before. There's a lot that you got to deal with.
I think
it's a lot to keep up in this town.
As a business owner, this is my philosophy. And I think that it should be all business owners' philosophy. If I have 10 employees and I'm paying each one of them $15 an hour, that's $150 an hour, right? And 5 of them quit, or 5 of them don't want to come back to work, whatever, right? Because of the pandemic or whatever. And now I only have 5 employees, 5 employees, right? But we're getting the same amount of work done. I think that $15 an hour per employee should go to the other 5 employees.
Like put in,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that those maybe you don't pay each one of them $30 an hour.
What should happen.
But you should pay them $20 an hour.
Somebody that's producing.
If those employees are producing the same amount
That's how
of
it works
work
in sports.
as the other employees we're getting the same amount of stuff done with less people.
Yeah.
Then as a business owner,
they should make more money.
I'm making whatever amount of more dollars an hour. I should distribute that back out.
They should make more money.
I don't need
some good.
Some
should
of it
be
at
happening.
least. Some of it at least should go back out into the employees. So I think that being said, if business owners think that way, which most of them won't, but a lot of small town, like small business owner type people, I think probably will. That's good for people.
It is.
The people that want to work are going to be rewarded, and the people that don't
aren't.
You
get what you get.
You're digging your own hole at this point if you're not out there looking for work, because there's plenty of it out there. There's So this is another thing I have a problem with, and it's on the same topic. And I know we only have a few minutes left, but we'll go a little over if we have to. I got into not a debate, but I got into a conversation with somebody on Facebook the other day because they made a comment about how people aren't going to work right now because they're tired of working for less than the amount of money that it takes to survive. Dude, I've been working for almost 3 decades. Okay, almost 30 years I've been in the workforce, and I'm not even 40 yet. So take that how you will.
Right. No, I hear you.
And I've never worked a job where I made less money than what I needed to survive.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
What are these jobs?
Yeah. How do you take that? Like, here's the thing.
And to be fair, before somebody jumps up and says, "Oh, you're a business owner, you must be this and you must be that," before you jump into that scenario, I barely graduated high school, and I'm a 3-time college dropout.
Well,
and I've never worked a job that paid me less than what I needed to survive.
Well, because, and I believe you know why? Because here's the deal: is when you apply for the job, it tells you how much it pays.
Don't take that job.
So why would you
That's my point exactly.
You know what you can afford or what you're doing. So how is it not paying you enough to live? It's not paying you enough to live the way you
If you roll up to Checkers,
it's not paying you enough,
and they tell you they're going to pay you $8 an hour,
and you say, "Oh yeah, let me get that application,"
and now you have no reason to complain,
right? Because
you entered into an agreement, for $8 an hour.
Yeah, and then when you start doing the work,
you should have gone somewhere else.
Right, you start doing the work, and you like, "Oh, this type of work ain't worth this much money." It's like you apply for the job
what it was
because of the dollar amount that was offered to you.
Start looking for something else.
You didn't apply for the job because of the type of work that they told you. You know,
I just don't get it.
The hardness of work. You know what I'm saying? So you're right.
If you went to a job and they said, "Okay, I'm going to pay you $10 an hour,"
and you're like, "That ain't enough for me,"
but you know that you need $15 an hour to pay your rent and to buy your groceries, why would you accept a $10 an hour job?
$10 an hour. You say, "Okay, I can take this, but I'm gonna have to find another part-time job, so I need to. I
only need to work 30 hours here or whatever." Yeah.
No,
I just don't. People are just. It doesn't make sense. Where are these Where are these jobs that pay? Here's the thing: if these jobs are out there so prevalent that exist, that people are making less money than it takes to survive, those jobs wouldn't exist because all the people that are working them would be dead.
I think
Like, just factually.
I think if people were willing to negotiate their worth, which I could take a lesson from this myself and now understanding this, but if people are willing to negotiate their worth, they'll come to understand that if you're good enough at something and worth it, when you just say, well, I need to make this much, this is where I'm at in my life, this is how much I need to make, and the company's gonna need to say, well, we can't pull you up to that, but we can do this, or we can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're worth it,
Ray, you are worth it.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're worth it, a company that knows
you're good enough
is going to give you the money. Yeah.
And doggone it, people like you.
Look at this, sweetheart. You know what I mean, though? Like, a company's gonna pay you what you're worth if they want to keep you around.
That's the other thing about the people arguing about the minimum wage, is that almost literally across the United States, almost no one makes the minimum wage.
Right.
Almost zero people make the minimum wage. And the ones that do make the minimum wage within the first year of being employed at a place don't make the minimum wage anymore. They get a raise. They get a promotion, a raise, etc. The minimum wage almost doesn't even exist, yet people are still complaining about it like it's this prevalent thing that just is everywhere, and all these employers are paying the minimum wage, and that's simply not true.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So Sarah says she agrees and disagrees. The cost of living, especially in our area, is ridiculous. However, if you have some sense, you're going to do some math and figure out, okay, I don't make enough here. I have to make more money somewhere else. Yeah. So if you don't have a job, right, but you need money, and the only way to get money is to get a job.
Right.
Something's better than nothing.
Wait, that's what increasing your skills.
So if you're a responsible person, and a job comes along that pays less than what you need to like pay all of your bills, you're still going to take that job.
Right.
But you're going to look for something that does pay your bills you're not just going to take that job and remain content, because you know you can't live that way.
But with jobs
you have
come
to
promotions,
find something else.
Yeah,
or say,
move
look,
up in the company.
I'll take this job now for $12 an hour.
You got to start on the ground floor. You
but
move up in the company.
I need the ability, and I need you to tell me before I sign this paperwork that within 6 months I'm going to be available. There's going to be a promotion that I can get.
Right.
That
What's
can
the
pay me an
growth?
extra
You ask them
$2.
questions.
Right.
What's the growth possibilities in this company?
This isn't rocket surgery, dude. Like, it's just not that difficult to ask those questions, and people just go out here.
I mean, when
sign
you go,
up for the job and take it, and then complain. But you the one didn't do the research.
When you go work at a convenience store, you know that there's only certain heights you can go to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You go work at a retail shop, you can only become the manager of this store maybe if you start investing.
There's only one manager of most stores.
You can become a DM, like a regional
overall manager.
You know, you can climb.
Yeah.
But it's like you're gonna have to want to do that within that company. You know what I'm saying? And if there's, only a certain, you're gonna be the store manager. If there's only a certain level you can go, there's a certain level you can go. But with any company, I think if you dedicate yourself, any company, like any family, will adopt you.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's actually really funny though.
Yeah. Hey, we always say you got to be a slave to something.
The company that I used to work for, everybody always wants to be the manager of the store or the manager of whatever it is that they do.
Everybody's a boss.
The company that I used to work for, it took a long time for people to start realizing this, but the best position in that company is actually the assistant store manager.
Right. You ain't got
not the manager. You want to know why? You actually have zero responsibilities.
Yeah.
Everything falls on the manager, but you still get bonuses, and they're not as big, but you still get the benefits of being in the management position without all the responsibility.
But you kind of like a second string quarterback, because once that manager gets gone, if you don't know shit and they ask you to step up, you ain't gonna last that long afterwards.
Just don't step up. In that company anyway, I know this isn't necessarily the case with all companies, but in that company, like, if you don't want to take the position, don't apply for it. Yeah, they're not going to force people into positions. But point being, like, if I was the assistant store manager there for a while at one of the stores, and it was literally the best position
It is.
in the whole company.
It is.
Like it seems like anyway, the whole company. But I mean, at least in the store level,
Yeah.
definitely the best position. Because like I said, you get extra vacation time, you get bonus money, you get all of the benefits. You know what I mean? And you get stock options and all of that kind of stuff. And and you never get yelled at by the district manager.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the manager is the one that gets yelled at, not you.
Yeah.
So yeah. But anyway, that was off topic, but it was still kind of funny.
Relevant. Enough.
So yeah, anyway, there's jobs out there, people. Go get them. Everyone's hiring. McDonald's doesn't pay $9 an hour anymore. McDonald's
15.
is paying $13, $15 an hour. Like
it's up and it's up.
You can and you know, like most of those types of places, the fast food restaurants and stuff like that, they're looking for people to start and then step into management positions. Right. They're literally looking for that.
You probably make about 50 G's you can managing a McDonald's.
McDonald's probably pays pretty good to its managers, I would imagine. Otherwise, why would people be there?
They got to pay more than Tom Thumb.
So, like, I really think that people are just, not everybody. There are obviously exceptions to the rule, but I think that right now the rule is people are sitting at home because the government's helping, and it's gonna be detrimental to the economy as a whole later.
Right. It definitely will be later. I totally agree.
Because, like I said, after this summer, dude, if we have a summer like we had this spring break, if summer is as busy as spring break was, a lot of these restaurants and stuff are just gonna have to close.
Yeah.
As busy as it is, they're not gonna be able to facilitate the amount of people that are coming in.
No.
If there's 5 wing restaurants in Fort Walton, you know, 2 of them might have to close.
But they,
you know what I'm saying?
Instead of having all this waitress waiting area,
or they're gonna have to adjust that way.
They might expand their kitchen and just start cooking more and serve. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I said.
We just hiring bus people, male or female.
Right.
And it's like you ain't going up to the table.
Yeah. When
anymore.
I say bus boy, I don't mean male.
They just sitting down to the table, ordering when we're ready.
Right.
And as soon as them orders pop
you need a
up,
hostess to seat people.
it's like
that's it.
It's
Somebody
like
to clean up.
The old school car hop when they used to just roller skate out to the car.
Right, like Sonic.
Yeah. As soon as you order, you out of here.
You know, Sonic's had that model for years.
Yeah.
You're right. You know, Sonic, I mean, it's just like a drive-through technically, but still, like, you know, just like a fast food place.
Nobody's coming to serve you. They just coming to serve your food.
Give you your food, yeah.
And you still tipping them.
They don't come out and ask you what you want.
No, you still tipping them.
Every restaurant can become a fast food restaurant. We need to invest in
Sonic. They might make a comeback.
Sonic's pretty good.
Sonic would have been brilliant. I think the enhancement we might be able to put on them, this might be a tip, is to put
put some
DVDs on their little order box. Let people sit there like it's
watch a movie.
Or a little shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a bad idea.
If you got a show that you like to watch, pull up.
That's a pretty cool idea, actually, for a restaurant, man. You pull up, you order your food, and then you pick a movie to watch, and you and your family sit there and watch it.
Your food's on the way.
It's legit. Dang, Ray. I hope this Dogecoin goes up so we can sell all ours and start that business.
Doge is
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we can do it.
Not yet. I gotta wait. We ain't got that much money in my Doge account yet.
Hey, before you click off, I'm about to check Doge right now.
Even after we had that giant heated debate earlier about Doge, to be completely honest with you,
Who?
Heated debate about Doge earlier today. We were yelling at each other.
Geez.
We got yelled at on the texts by the people over there.
See, Doge is waving at 34 cents, 35
It's been around 35 pretty much all day.
If it goes back up to 44, Tim, I'm selling.
You're going to sell? I'm not at 44. You want to know why? Because if it goes back up to 44, it's probably going to keep going. That's about where I'm at, too.
Yeah. That's where I'm up at. Yeah.
But I've got more coins than you.
If I just hit that and hit sell and say I'm going to sell 500 USDA, I'm still going to have half of my Dogecoin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And then...
Why would you want to give away half of your investment?
But no, listen.
Let's not get back into it.
If it goes up to 44 and I sell and then it drop back down.
Well, of course. We're playing a big game of ifs. I mean, it's ifs both ways. I get it.
It's the stock market. It's all in ifs.
It's ifs both ways. That's not the stock market. Use your terminology correctly. Semantics. I argue semantics with everybody.
Crypto stock market.
Crypto market. Sarah bought more. See, I told you.
Thank
You're
you.
supposed to buy more.
But she could have sold some and then
No,
bought
because she
some
bought
more.
at 25. So she's
And she bought at
She's not
25.
gonna go below
So
25.
if she sold at 44 and then
but she didn't sell at 44.
when she sell, or
She hasn't sold. She just bought more.
But if she would have sold and then bought more when it was at where it's at right now,
If understand.
oh
I understand
my
your
God,
if,
we
man.
out of here.
I understand your if. I get it.
They money, Tim.
I understand your if. It's your money. Anyway, Sarah bought more.
Good job, Sarah.
Sorry we yelled at everybody. Keep buying Doge. Every coin counts.
Doja's up. Doja's up.
Doja's
Doja's up. Doja's up. Like
up.
Cardi B. Doja's up. Doja's up.
I don't even know what that means. What's a Cardi B?
You ain't heard that song?
No.
If it's up, then it's up.
Oh,
then
okay.
it's up.
Yeah, I
then
think I
it's
have.
up.
Yeah. That's just terrible lyric writing.
I mean, it's just a
But
bumping
it's
beat.
catchy.
It's catchy.
All right, we
I'm a
out of
sucker
here.
for
Any last
catchy.
words for these people besides buy Doge?
Buy Doge. Buy Doge. Let
We
that
need
thing
to
go
all
up.
come together and buy Doge.
See, that's their money, Tim. It's community money.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We need to all come together and buy Doge. The problem is when you sell, you cause the market to come down.
But I'm getting my money.
I know, but
And then when I sell and it comes down, I'm buying back in so they can rise
then
back
it goes
up.
back up to the same level it was
Tim,
at.
all this is
We needed to go higher.
I don't know if you heard of those money rings where people invest their
a
money,
Ponzi scheme?
then the person that's in the middle or gets to the blue square,
Right,
they get
right,
the money, and then they go.
And then, yeah.
That's what this Dogecoin
That's what
is.
Doge is. Without
That's
a
what
ring.
cryptocurrency is. Period.
All right.
Bye.
Buy more Doge. That's our
I'm
things for
gonna
the night.
sell.
I have been Tim.
And I'm Ray. The GrayScale is going black.